Hey guys, my name is Chantel. Welcome back to my channel and thanks for hanging out with me today. So today we're going to talk about episode 13 of Tsurune. But before I get into talking about this episode, I'm going to share a little bit of information with you guys just in case you guys don't know, because I certainly didn't know until like a few days ago. And that is that Tsurune will have a special episode, which is episode 14, coming up in March. And this episode will actually be showing, if I remember correctly, at the event where all the voice actors are gonna be at. So yeah, I mean, look forward to that. Hopefully Crunchyroll or Sentai, because Sentai does have the rights to it as well, will, you know, pick this 14th episode up, or maybe Sentai will put it in their Blu-ray DVD release. I don't know, but we'll see. But I am looking forward to that 14th episode. I'm really curious to see what's gonna be about. So yeah, I guess stay tuned for that 14th episode. Anyway, now let me talk about this final episode of Tsurune, and oh my gosh, you guys, this episode was so beautifully done. I absolutely loved it, and oh my gosh, the art and animation in this were so beautiful, so breathtaking. The music too, oh my gosh, was really good, and I feel like this was probably like the best episode of Tsurune. Not saying that all the other episodes weren't good, but this one really tops all the other episodes for sure. You can tell just how much time went into this episode. Seeing just like these slow motion stops and seeing like the boys' hair like going like moving around slow motion, seeing them draw their bows, seeing like, oh my gosh, there was just so much goodness visually going on. Anyway, now that I'm done geeking out about this episode visually, let me go ahead and tell you guys just a little bit of what I thought overall with this episode. Like, it was really good, I will say that, but there were some things that I do need to say because they kind of were like, kind of wish I would have done things a little bit differently. Not just the episode itself, but like Tsurune as like a whole. And I guess let's just start off with the negative, right? Let's get the bad out of the way. So first thing I do want to mention is that they never really addressed how Onogi and Masa-san knew each other. We only know this based on like the, what was it, second episode? I think it was the second episode. Where Onogi gets all excited that Masa-san is the coach, and we just never really dive into that at all. It was just kind of left there out in the open. So I was like, are we gonna get to that back, you know, eventually? But we never did. I was a little disappointed, but that's just like a little detail that I feel like could have been explored more. Another one that I thought could have been more like explored was Shu's character, because I feel like I don't really get Shu all that well and really know him or his teammates. I really don't know his teammates that well, and I really wish they would have explored his team, as, you know, given them a little bit more time to shine too. At least given them like an episode or half the episode, but we really didn't get too much other than that one episode when we meet Shu, but that's about it. Also, another thing regarding Shu is I also wanted to know just like how he reacted to Minato's accident, because he was pretty close to him back in, you know, when they were kids. So I'm like curious to know like how did he react to that? How did he react to Minato's target panic? We never really got to like see what was going on in Shu's mind and see like his backstory, like his point of view basically. And I really wish we would have gotten to see that, because I feel like we would have gotten a better understanding of what type of character Shu is, and like just how much Minato means to him, even though like it's clear that he, you know, Minato means a lot to him as a friend, but like it's just like I want more details. And I think that's pretty much everything I have to complain about. Actually no, I have two more things now that I'm thinking about them. Another one was how both, you know, Onogi and Anao know each other. I know that they're childhood friends and everything, but I really wish we would have like gotten more backstory with that and like gotten to know like how they were as childhood friends. And we did get a little bit of insight from Nanao, just like how Onogi is as a person, but we really didn't like dive too much into these two. And then Nanao really didn't get much screen time. I really wanted to know a little bit more about him. I feel like he just got like the short end of the stick out of all the boys. And let's see, who else? Oh, Masa-san as well. I kind of thought that Masa-san and Minato would have a lot more screen time together in this series, and they kind of didn't. They just had like a few interactions here and there, but nothing too major other than that one episode and at the beginning, but that's pretty much about it. The whole story really just focuses more on like Minato and the boys, but that's about it. But like I said, I feel like, I don't know, how do I put this? I felt like this series was gonna focus a lot on Minato and Masa's relationship with each other, and it just didn't. Like I said, it just shifted to the boys. So I really don't know how I feel about that. Like, I'm not complaining, I loved it, but I really do wish we gotten more, like I said, screen time with Masa-san and Minato. Alright, now we can move on from the negative, because I think that's pretty much all I really wanted to mention. Just little details here and there that I was like, I wish they were, you know, more explored. But anyway, now let's just go ahead and dive into, I guess, the episode itself. So one thing I do want to like talk about was the twins. So the twins, I don't know if it was really clear, like it's really unclear to me anyway, that it seems like one of the twins develops target panic, which was kind of, I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about it, but at the same time I'm like, well, it's kind of karma, because they always poked fun and made fun of Minato and always talked bad about him and like, you know, just made fun of him, and obviously Minato was just like, okay, whatever. They don't know what they're talking about. And Onogi was the only one that would get riled up anytime that he would hear the twins talk shit about them. And it seems like it's coming back to bite them in the ass, which is kind of funny. You know, it's kind of like what goes around comes around. So yeah, hopefully this will make the twins a little bit more humble and less of, you know, little shits, because Jesus, those twins really got under my skin. But anyway, like I said, that was really interesting to see that like in the last episode, and just seeing, you know, one of the twins develop target panic, and just, it was surprising. Moving on from the twins, this whole episode basically focuses on the boys' finals, and the boys are pretty much at their best form ever. Like, this is like the best of the best that they can do, and they don't miss. I mean, we have Ryohei that misses like a shot here and there, but like they all shot beautifully and perfectly. And I loved hearing Minato's comments of like what makes each boy so special, and like little details that he's noticed, the way that they draw their bow and stuff like that, like everything that makes them who they are as archers, which was really nice. And Minato basically now has a sense of like who these boys are, what kind of archers they are, and stuff like that, which is really nice to hear, you know, his point of view of all these boys, which is, like I said, was really, really cool to see. On top of that, it was really nice to see just how clear everything was for Minato. Like, everything just like makes sense in the world, and he finally overcame his target panic. Well, it seems based on like what the girls were saying, you know, it's still there, but like he's definitely gotten better, and it seems like whatever was, you know, struggling and, you know, with him mentally, it's finally like over, it's clear, it's done, which is really nice. Because like the main theme with Tsurune was like Minato's biggest struggle was himself mentally. There was just so much going on with Minato, and for him to overcome everything, he just needed to, you know, figure out things on his own. And once he did, everything like made sense. He wasn't looking forward and seeing everything in front of him or seeing his teammates. He was just like looking behind him and looking, you know, just not paying attention to his basically, no, wait. He was pretty much paying attention more to his surroundings than just focusing on the target, is basically what I'm trying to get at. Which is kind of funny, because we see Shu basically not focusing on his target. He starts to focus on Minato, and we see him get a little bit like, what's the right word to describe him? Just, I guess, worked up is the best way I can say that. he was basically not his usual calm and collected self, and you could tell his main focus was just on Minato and not like his performance as an archer and his target and everything, which again, that's what Minato was doing, and it's kind of funny how it just kind of, it went around, if that makes sense. So it was really interesting to see because this basically caused Shu to miss, and since Minato was looking ahead, he was able to shoot perfectly. And oh my gosh, you guys, like the way that all of these boys shot were so beautifully done, and like visually, like, oh my gosh, sorry, I know I said that I was done talking about this episode visually, but oh my gosh, it was just really beautiful. But anyway, the boys basically win the finals, and that's pretty much it. That's that. And after that, like, the credits roll, and then we do get a little bit of time with Masa-san and Minato towards the end of the credits, which was really nice. And he basically tells Minato like things that happened when he went to go see Onose Sensei, and it seems like, you know, everything going on with Masa-san, it's like kind of resolved, and he's done. He's able to, it looks like he's basically ready to move forward finally. And he takes back his, what was it, his 10,000 shot that Minato had shot earlier in the episode, and he shoots it himself, which is kind of nice to see, and nice to see it like all wrapped up. And then we get like one last final scene between Masa-san and Minato, and we see them both together at that moment where Minato falls in love with archery, and I was like, oh my gosh, like they were there together at the same place at the same time. And it's so funny because Minato earlier, when he's talking to Masa-san, he says, you know, things happen for a reason, maybe we were bound to meet each other eventually. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like seeing that last final scene, I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't know, it got me like so excited and happy to see that for some reason. But yeah, like it was really beautiful. Just seeing how everything just comes full circle, and just like I said, everything just came together. Every little bit that happened in this series just really did come together in this last and final episode, which is really nice. And I think that's all I have to say with the 13th episode. But overall, I really enjoyed Tsurune as a series. I do plan on doing a video just telling you guys, you know, why I love the series so much, because I really did fall in love with this series more than I thought I would, and I loved it. And I love seeing like the overall theme of, you know, patience, because that's basically like what each boy has to learn, is that things come at their own time. You don't have to rush things. Even like if you feel lost, like with Masa-san, him feeling lost as an adult, even though he sees like all these adults, and it seems like everyone has their stuff together, you know, behind closed doors. We really don't have our shit together. And it was just kind of really nice to see like adulthood, like what the reality is, because I feel like we're all lost in this world trying to find answers for ourselves. And yeah, I mean, these things take time. Sometimes we take a little detour, sometimes it takes longer than others, but that's okay, you know. Like I said, the overall thing was you need to have patience, and if you have patience, things will just fall into place, and you'll find your answers to yourself and all that good stuff. So yeah, I mean, damn, I'm gonna miss Tsurune so much, you guys. Like, it was so good. I know not a lot of people love this series, but I personally loved it, and I loved talking about it with you guys each week. I know like my views haven't been all that great with my reviews of Tsurune, but whatever, I loved it. That's all that matters, and I had a blast watching this. So yeah, and that's about it. That's gonna be my last and final review for Tsurune. I'm definitely gonna miss it, and I'm for sure going to buy it on Blu-ray and DVD when it comes out. Really glad that Sensei picked it up, because oh my gosh, I can't wait to have it in my hands and put it in my collection. Anyway, as I said before, I will be making one more video talking about Tsurune, and then that will be it. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna miss talking about it every week for sure, but that's it. That's all I gotta say for this week's episode of Tsurune, the finale. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!